Star Time. And when I'm not being reprimanded by traffic cops, I'm listening to Rainier Avenue Radio World.
Do you want to represent your city? This year, you can. Seattle residents who are interested in running for office in 2021 can use democracy vouchers to fund their campaigns for the positions of mayor, city council, and city attorney. The city of Seattle offers one-on-one training for candidates at any stage. Learn more about how to run for office by visiting seattle.gov/democracy voucher or by calling 206-727-8855.
Phil-Am Radio, servicing the Filipino and Filipino Americans all over the world. Phil-Am Radio, streaming live in the internet every Tuesday from 1 o'clock to 2:30 p.m. Seattle, USA time. We are your host, Kuya Bert Kawili, Emma Heron, and
Manny Panganiban.
Phil-Am Radio.
Hey yo, how you doing? This is that guy Curtis from R&R Live Jam Sessions. I want y'all to tap in with me every Wednesday at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time right here on Rainier Avenue Radio .org. R&R Live Jam Sessions, baby. Holla.
Your creative work might look a little different this year, but For Culture grants can still help you put your ideas in motion and share them with King County. Check this out. For Culture is now offering grants in 3 disciplines: arts, heritage, and historic preservation. Apply by April 28th. For more information, go to forculture.org. What's that date again? The deadline to apply for a For Culture grant is April 28th. Are you interested in getting your project financially supported? For Culture wants to support your cultural activities and share them with King County. Do you do creative work in the arts? For Culture is now offering grants in 3 disciplines: arts, heritage, and historic preservation. Apply by April 28th. I have some ideas. For more information, go to forculture.org. As a cultural funding agency for King County, For Culture wants to support your creative work. For more information, go to forculture.org.
This is Rainier Avenue Radio .world.
Welcome to Rainier Avenue Radio .world. It is me, Tony B, and we've got another great wake-up show for you this morning. Now, for those of you who are tuning in to listen to your regularly scheduled program, if you didn't find out, we got Best Starts for Kids here all week long. They've got a conference and summit. I think that you're really going to enjoy this if you don't know about it. If you are one of the BSK champions or partners, wake up, all right? All right, we're going to get you started here so that you can have a great day of attending one of the 18 overall sessions, and 6 which are youth-driven or focused. Let me tell you a little bit about Best Starts for Kids so that you have the information just in case you don't know. And if you do know, you certainly won't mind hearing this information. Again, the vision of Best Starts for Kids is that they want every child and family in King County to be happy, healthy, safe, and thriving. All right. So once again, greetings to all of our BSK champions and summit attendees. Best Starts for Kids builds on the strengths of families and communities so that babies are born healthy, children thrive, and establish a strong foundation for life, and young people grow into happy, healthy adults. Best Starts for Kids is considered to be the most comprehensive approach to child development in the nation. Best Starts invests an average of $65 million per year to support King County families and children from the time that parents plan for a family and throughout childhood and young adulthood. And we're going to be talking with guests from the Hunger Intervention Program. And I have a little surprise for them, but I'm going to welcome them on first. First of all, Claire Dunn. Claire, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing well, thanks.
All right. And Darcy and I hope I get this right, Darcy. If not, correct me. Buendia? Close?
Yes, that's absolutely right. Like good day.
Okay. So we're going to be talking about the hunger intervention program. But before we do that, because Best Starts for Kids has been a lot of information, a lot of networking, which has been wonderful. But there's also been a lot of fun. There have been games. And so I decided, since we do that anyway, that we're going to start playing a game. Okay. Somebody's already calling, trying to enter the game, but can't do that. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you, first of all, that we're going to have a huge, just cash jackpot. All right, just an amazingly huge cash jackpot, and if you get the answer correctly, then you're going to win the huge cash jackpot. All right.
Well, this sounds wonderful.
All right, and if you don't win the huge, gigantic cash jackpot today, we're going to roll it over and double it for tomorrow's guests. Yes. And if tomorrow's guests don't win it, we're going to double it and roll it over for Friday.
Oh, my gosh.
All right. So you're probably asking yourself right now, what is the huge cash jackpot? Okay, so for those of our Best Starts for Kids champions and partners, get ready for this. It's only going to take a couple minutes, so I suggest that you start texting, you get in touch with your fellow members, and tell them to tune in right now, because this could be a phenomenal experience. Claire and Darcy, are you ready?
Yes.
Ready, yeah.
Come on. Claire and Darcy, are you ready?
We're ready.
Never been more ready.
All right. That's what I want to hear. Well, first of all, brace yourselves. Everybody grab a hold of your chairs. And because I'm about to tell you about the huge cash jackpot. Well, I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to let our money specialist tell you. So, money specialist.
Yes, time for that jackpot. How about a drum roll?
Oh, okay. Hold on a second.
Oh, hold up.
No, that was good. That was good. Almost. How much?
1 cent.
1 cent.
Yes.
You have the opportunity to win 1 cent this morning. And if they don't win the 1 cent this morning, we're going to double it. And I'm going to let him take some time. This is our money expert. So we get this correctly. We're going to double it and roll it over, which means that tomorrow's guests will have the opportunity to win
2 cents.
You are quick. You are quick. And if it doesn't happen tomorrow, we're going to double it again, roll it over. Oh, boy. Get ready for this. I'm going to give him some time to put this together. On Friday, if no one wins today or tomorrow, money specialist, how much money will we have?
4 cents.
It's almost incentive enough for you guys to not win and let this thing roll over. But
Yeah,
I know
the stakes are high.
I know you want to win. All right. So here you go. You're gonna have to finish this sentence for me. All right. You have to. Well, I'll give you a hint. Did anybody watch? Was it the Emmys or the Oscars or whatever that show was? Money Specialist on Sunday. Was it the Emmys? Whatever award show it was. Oscars. And there was a moment in there where some funny stuff happened, and we're going to kind of try and recreate that moment here, except we're going to add cash value to it. I think it was Glenn Close that ended up doing it. So involves old school hip hop. I don't know if you're old school hip hop fans, but here it comes. Okay, I want you to finish this sentence. All right, just finish this sentence. Here we go. All right, everybody ready out there? Just in case you know the answer, you could have won 1 cent. Here we go. Stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin. What comes next? Give you 5 more seconds. Claire, Darcy. Stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin. Time's up. Okay, and I'm not going to give the answer because we're going to start with the same question tomorrow. So that was it. Stop what you're doing because we didn't have a winner today. So the 1 cent not only remains in the pot, we're going to double it. And tomorrow, money guy,
2 cents.
So wonderful job. Even if you didn't get the answer, you doubled the pot for it tomorrow. We're talking about the hunger intervention program. Again, my guests are Claire and Darcy, and we just want everybody to be awake. And later on, Jess and Jen are going to be here, and they're going to tell you all about what's going on today, what the sessions are for you. And so everybody get ready. It's the Best Starts for Kids Summit. We build, we rise, we soar. Check the event agenda or the program to identify interesting sessions and set a reminder so that you won't miss them. Check the attendee list to see if there's anyone you know or interested in meeting and message them ahead of time. And maybe our guest tomorrow will be able to finish this sentence. Stop what you're doing because I'm about to ruin. Money man, don't say it, but can you finish that sentence? Don't say it.
You know I can.
Okay. All right. Hey, welcome to the program, Claire. Welcome to the program, Darcy. Great to have both of you on here. And let's go ahead and get started. It's the Hunger Intervention Program. Claire, why don't we start with you? Give us some background information on who you are.
Yeah, so I am a program coordinator at HIP. We call it HIP. And I'm also doing an AmeriCorps year. So I'm doing a 1 service year at HIP. And yeah, I just graduated from college last year, started at HIP, and now I coordinate this program.
All right. And Darcy, why don't you give us a little bit of background information on yourself and then talk about Hunger Intervention Program. And I like that acronym HIP. I don't know how old school you guys are, but you might remember Tower of Power did a song called What is HIP? Maybe you don't. Either way, it's still cool. Darcy, give us some background information on yourself.
Yeah, I like that song. I have been a Washingtonian for 10 years, and I work at HIP. I'm a hipster with Claire. I'm the meal program manager there, so I'm kind of overseeing all of operations. And I've been at HIP for a cat just fell. And I've been at HIP for a little bit over 8 years now.
Okay, tell us about HIP. Tell us more about the program.
Yeah, so HIP began as a volunteer-run organization, and we've existed as a more formalized organization for about 10 years now. My elevator speech is all thrown off because we just added a new program. So we now have 4 different meal programs. No, see, this is what's thrown off. We now have 5 different meal programs and do nutrition education. So we're focusing on seniors, kids, and homeless adults.
All right. And Darcy, why don't you talk a little bit about the new wellness program?
Yeah, I'll kind of give a bit of an overview.
Claire, I meant to ask that to Claire. Tell us a little bit about the new wellness program.
Yeah, so this program is totally new. It started this year. And it's a response to the COVID-19 pandemic. And we saw that there's a massive increase in food insecurity in Washington, but in the US in general. I think there was a King County report last year in August that reported that food insecurity had doubled since earlier that year, so before the pandemic. And we've seen that in our work too. We've seen just a massive increase in demand for our programs. And so this program was really designed to address a problem of food insecurity, but also other components of health, specifically in kids and families. And we know that kids are stuck at home and they have less exercise, they have less access to food. And those are like what's called like biological factors. And then we also know that being stuck at home, having like a disruption in daily schedule can cause a lot of stress for kids. And so that's called like an environmental factor. And those like biological and environmental factors can kind of exacerbate each other, so make each other worse, and cause an increase in obesity and other chronic conditions for kids. And so this program was kind of a response to that. And we know that we can help these problems by making activity more like structured in a day-to-day way. We can increase food security and food access to healthy food. And then we also know that increasing like family time, kind of bonding within a family unit can really help kids along too. And so this program kind of tries to work on like overall health through three components: through nutrition, physical activity, and mindfulness. And so the program, we make packages for families, and in each package we have a healthy vegetarian recipe that can be made in about 30 minutes. And we have all the ingredients for the recipe, including spices, all the fresh produce, everything. And then we also have some nutritional information about some of the ingredients, because we like to put in ingredients that are very healthy, inexpensive, but that people maybe don't use that much in their regular diet yet. So think about things like tofu or eggplant. So we add a little info about those things so people become a little bit more familiar with those ingredients. And then we also include a little physical activity that kids can do at home or with their families. And then a mindfulness activity that parents can kind of guide their kids through. They're really short. They're supposed to be like a few minutes, just kind of to take a second in the day to, have that mindfulness moment. And through those kind of three ways, the nutrition, physical activity, and kind of mental health mindfulness, we try to kind of have a more integrative approach to health and try and address some of the problems we see in our community.
All right, we are talking about the Hunger Intervention Program. This is Rainier Avenue Radio, and we're waking everybody up so that you can get ready for the Best Starts for Kids Summit and Conference. Darcy, we know that there are some communities that are referred to as food deserts, because in the entire community, there's nowhere, to really get healthy food. And as Claire mentioned, COVID exacerbated this divide. We know that even before COVID, if you go to school hungry, you're not going to learn. It's just a fact. And I guess at the end of the day, why did you choose this particular field of interest? What is it that in your career led you to this position to be involved in this type of work, hunger intervention?
I think, in all honesty, it comes from a place of just loving to eat. Like, that is the seed, that is the starting point. And then from there, just having an interest in, okay, if you want to be around food and this is what you're interested in, how can you shape that into something where the work you're doing is leaving the world a little bit better than you found it? So I initially went down this path of kind of like a sustainable agriculture education, but ultimately just got really interested in the anti-hunger world. And I really, really, really love working in a meal program. I would say that this kind of work is one of those things that I didn't know it existed until I was in it. I think when I think of what hunger looks like, I think of a food bank. That's where my mind goes. And meal programs are this whole other really dynamic, really interesting kind of serving a different need type of organization that I'm really happy that by a lot of happenstance I kind of ended up in.
Mhm. And Darcy, the same question for you. You mentioned AmeriCorps, and this was also going to be an opportunity for you to give. Why choose hunger intervention program for you personally? What was your reason?
For me, so interestingly enough, so Claire is in AmeriCorps, serving in AmeriCorps currently at HIP. But how my path at hunger intervention program started was also AmeriCorps. I was HIP's first AmeriCorps member about 8 years ago. And for me, it was just a cool opportunity I'd finished grad school and I was like, oh, great, I can actually test out the thing that I've been learning about. And what I was really drawn to in this program is their summer meals program. That was kind of the hook for me. At the time, we've been doing it for years, but at the time it was this new program where in the summer, because that's when kids aren't having access to school breakfast and school lunch. And I say that like during a normal year when school is constantly in session. HIP was setting up sites in the community that were open to the public that were just serving lunch to help fill that gap. So that was kind of my hook many years ago in AmeriCorps.
Mm-hmm. And how did this has just been a year, I'll just put it that way. How did the work that you do change? Because you mentioned, especially with the wellness program, that there's exercise, there's opportunities possibly, to get together, to talk. That all changed with COVID. How did it change the way that you operated? And again, we know that hunger became a bigger problem at that point in time. It was for a lot of folks just trying to sustain being able to eat day to day, let alone do things that would be well for you, things that were healthy, things that would improve your health and well-being. How did the COVID impact what you do? And both of you can answer this question if you like.
Yeah, I think hunger intervention program definitely has had two main focuses. One is how do we get food to people that need it, that's healthy. And the other is how do we create shared experiences around food? And we know that food can be such a wonderful way to build community and connect with other people. And during the pandemic, we really had to shift and we really started focusing much more on the first, how do we get enough healthy food to people? And that's really where the need was. And obviously, because we couldn't do any sort of community food anymore, we couldn't host meals anymore, that part we kind of put on the back burner. And so I think, yeah, it was very much how do we deal with this emergency? And then as kind of the months went on, we started to think about how can we bring kind of that community aspect back. And this program kind of incorporates the household and the people that you can still share a meal with. And what if we just provide the food and you can still have that shared experience? Because I think that's so important for people. And that's definitely very important for us at HIP too. We just love having lunch together and just having that kind of community feel. So I think it's great that we were able to bring a little aspect of that back, even though it's not the same as it used to be.
Darcy, you want to add on to that?
Yeah, I would love to. And I very much agree with everything Claire said. And I have felt that in the past year, what we are still doing is serving meals. That's still happening. But at the same time, I feel like what we all set out to do has become so stripped away, so bare bones. There is this transactional moment where a to-go box goes from me to another human being. But I think we all set out to do a lot more and used to have a huge emphasis on community and the health impacts that just talking with people and meeting a new friend or sitting with your peers and eating together and kind of connecting people. It was truly like hand in hand, like with the food. It was part of the work that we did, and coming to meals and growing to know people and gaining that trust was a way for us to listen to people, hear what the needs are, and start connecting them to other resources. And a lot of those subtleties have just evaporated.
Again, my guests are from the Hunger Intervention Program, aka HIP, and you use the word intervention. Why intervention? Let's explain that, because everybody may not know. Again, we know what's going on right now, and these services are incredibly valuable during this time. But why intervention?
I'll kind of kick this off. I see the word intervention as an understanding that a meal isn't going to holistically solve every problem that a person can have. We are very clear that there are root causes of poverty. And what we're doing is being a substantial Band-Aid that helps connect people, kind of knitting together different resources to ultimately kind of help connect people to other things. So that's what I see. It's like it's a moment where like a meal is an opportunity and something that can be helpful, but I see it as a very like an open door to the next thing.
For Best Starts for Kids, possibilities boil down to 4 words: happy, healthy, safe, and thriving. It's a vision that is King County's vision for our kids. And in 2019, Best Starts invested $83.9 million in 281 community partners and 483 programs to serve children and families in our communities. Let's talk about the partnership that you have with Best Starts for Kids. Talk a little bit about it, how it works, and just the whole relationship.
With the program formally, or just like with youth and children more generally?
Well, with youth and children more generally, about the program overall. I guess at the end of the day, the ability to create partnerships and how does that work? Again, like we're doing here at the summit, where we're sharing information so that folks who may not know of one organization find out about another organization. Folks who hear about this program may say, hey, wait a minute, I like what they're doing. So just the whole concept of community partnerships and working together in this type of format.
Totally. I think one thing that's helpful to describe is that at HIP, we have a couple different programs that partner with different community orgs and schools in a couple different ways. Claire, I was hoping maybe you could speak to one of our other most active youth programs, the Healthy Hip Packs.
Yeah, so the other program that I kind of coordinate is called the Healthy Hip Pack program, and we make meals for kids for over the weekend. And basically we just put in a bunch of food that is healthy and shelf stable, and put it into a bag, and then kids can take that home over to the weekend if they don't have access to healthy food. And that has been a really big program at HIP for a long time. And the partnership that is involved there is just so important. We partner with schools in our area, and that's really important because we don't really have like the connection with kids individually because we are a separate organization. So us partnering with schools and being able to have family advocates that can connect the food with the kid is really super important. And beyond that, we have other organizations in our area that we partner with just to kind of see, oh, how are you making these kinds of packs? Like, what kind of nutritional food are you putting in those packs? And that kind of collaboration is super important for us too.
All right, we're almost out of time here, and I want to ask you, with the 18 sessions, is there a particular session that each of you are interested in going to? I'm giving you some time to think about it, because there's just so much going on, and then I'm going to give you a chance for final words here. So think about that question. What's a session that you're looking forward to? And for those of you out there, if you want to access an event content or interact with others on a bigger screen, who will provide you with a web app you can access from your desktop or laptop with almost the same functionality as the mobile app. So I'll start with you, Claire. 18 sessions, Claire. What one in particular are you looking forward to?
Yeah, I think there's one coming up later today called Mindfulness for Youth Workers, and I'm excited about that. I think mindfulness is so important to incorporate in our work, and so I'm excited to listen in on that one.
All right, and Darcy.
I can't remember if it was today or yesterday, but hopefully it's recorded. I would love to watch this session that was done by the youth from Feast. I think that is such a cool organization.
All right. And I got about another 30, 45 seconds for each of you for final words. And I'll start with you, Claire. Anything that you want to say before we go?
Yeah, I think the main kind of takeaway that I've learned from this program is that health is really not something that you can achieve. It's like something you have to work on every day. And really the most important thing is to just kind of build habits around small, healthy activities, whether that be like, you know, thinking about something good that happened at the end of the day when you're brushing your teeth, or like doing a few jumping jacks in the morning. It's really about like meeting yourself where you are and kind of like increasing your health every day in a kind of holistic way. So that's something that I take away.
And Darcy, your final thoughts to share.
I think piggybacking off of what Claire said, I'm just thinking a lot about self-care right now. And I'm just feeling so appreciative to be on this radio show, to be talking to you right now, to be a part of this web of incredible advocates and community workers who are all just pouring out their everything for kids. And so I'm just thinking a lot about the balance of, you know, care that we put out and then the care that we put back in to replenish. And thank you so much for having us.
All right, that's about it. That's the time that we have. Jess and Jen are going to be waiting for you. They're going to tell you about what's happening today, probably review what happened yesterday. Again, Claire, Darcy, thank you both for being here and sharing what is HIP.
Thanks, Tony.
Hunger Intervention Program. Okay, that's it. Until tomorrow, we'll get back here again. We'll double the cash prize. And remember, whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't, you are probably right. I'm out. Peace.